Okay, so let's talk about emotions. Emotions are a very, very favorable and very, very fascinating topic for me because basically, as us humans, we learn and evolve through our not just only but very important part of our learning and our, let's say, evolution, because they gave us something very, very valuable and something very, very creditable. Of course, if you dig deep into the question, oh my god, we can talk about so many things. We can talk about nervous system, we can talk about upbringing, socializing, all the important contexts which are teaching us what are exactly emotions. But do we really have the, let's say, the very clean key definition of emotion? Or actually, a better question, how do we treat them? How do we handle them? How do we approach them? What are they and what they are trying to learn us, what they are trying to teach us? Sorry, just my mouth. It's a little dry. So, emotions. Through my life and through my work, business, and education, I came across, of course, a lot of patterns, a lot of people, a lot of things, a lot of cultures. I travel a lot, I meet new people, I experience a lot of things, and I encounter with a lot of data. So I collect a lot of data and I see some reoccurring pattern across us humans. And I was the victim of this too. Because, we all know some unfavorable emotions and some more favorable emotions, but actually, they are all just neutral data. They have no meaning. We give it meaning. We say, oh, I feel bad, I feel good. Like, are you sure? Is bad really bad? Is good really good? I mean, when we feel anxious, we don't even ask ourselves, like, is the thing I'm anxious about, is it really happening? Is it a real thing? Is it something what already materialized? Or is just something what is in my head? This is very important when you can come across one step back, analyze yourself and ask the right question and analyze what is going on. I don't say to you to don't live your emotion, don't experience your emotion. No. Please experience your emotion as much as you can. Please process your emotion as much as you can. But what I'm trying, if I can give you an advice, don't try to suppress it and don't try to convert it right away into another emotion, because I heard a couple of things from a couple of people, and some of them, they all give the same advice. Oh, when you feel anxious, oh yeah, just convert it into excitement, because anxiety actually is excitement, so yeah, you're safe, right? Somewhere it's good, but pause for a second. When you feel anxious, don't try to convert it right away. When you feel anything, just don't try to convert it right away, if I can give you an advice. Of course, I'm not someone who is a crazy researcher. I mean, this is just life. You don't need to be a researcher for that. Of course, I have a researcher's mindset. That's why I'm approaching it this way. If I wouldn't have a researcher's mindset, I would never ask these questions. So what is happening with me? I'm living my life, there comes the data, I collect it, I gather it, I analyze it, and then I put it into maps, and then I try to extract the important information, and I try to pass it on, and I try to also apply it in my life, and I try to live the best as I can and the most easy and possible as life can be, even though life is not easy. So just what is very important is that when you feel, let's say, uncomfortable emotion, okay, automatically your nervous system, then this is subconscious reaction, and that is a normal reaction because it is about your survival. Right away, your conscious self will try to, your subconscious self will try to suppress it, stop it, change it, escape from it. That is a normal reaction, but it's not a helpful reaction, because if we keep going on like that, we will just never learn. And the purpose of all of that is learning. So it goes, sorry, I just have the keynotes here. Actually, it goes like that: experience, activation, regulation, investigation, updating, integration, and new prediction. So when you feel your emotion, whatever that is, what is uncomfortable for you, instead of asking, how do I stop feeling that? It's a better question of, how do I become available again for learning? That's a different approach, because your goal and key here is learning, okay? Upgrading your nervous system, upgrading patterns which, like unseen ways, keep you stuck, like in a way that doesn't make your evolution smoother, keeps you in a state of loop, in a state of pattern repetition. So of course, if you want to repeat the pattern, keep on going. I don't say I want to stop you. I just would like to provide you something that might be helpful. So what I would suggest is that asking the right questions. Why do I feel this way? Who made me feel this way? What actually happened? Try to observe yourself. Try to observe, analyze the situation, not when you are in the middle of it, not when you are in the thick of it. When you are in the thick of it, leave it. I don't say scream and shout. If you can, just do it. If you are available and doesn't cause anyone harm, if that is your process, cry it out, scream it out, write it out, sing it out, dance it out. But if you just try to numb it down and pretend that it isn't there, then it will just come back again. So you didn't win anything. So process it, let it be, and then return to baseline. Return to yourself, who you are without this emotion, who you are at your core, who you are really, who you are when you are with your friends, smiling, making jokes, with your loved ones, with your pet, with your children, with who, name it, at your normal state. Just ask yourself, just remember that emotion, bring yourself back to yourself. When you are there, then there is a room for something very, very, very beautiful. That is analyzation. That's when you can extract the important data, what is key for your learning. That's when you ask yourself, what is life situation trying to teach me? That is when you look behind the emotion. But you didn't try to suppress it, you didn't try to numb it, you let it exist, you let it be there, you let it take space. Then you return back to yourself. Then you go to analyzation, then you ask the questions, then you try to subtract the learning. What is it trying to teach you? Why is this happening? What I should learn from this? What is this saying to me? Why this is important to me? Why do I give it this meaning? And don't try to do this when you are in the thick of it. Like, just will not help at all. And when you are there, then you are able to integrate. When you integrate, then it means that you don't feel bad, cringe, ashamed, whatever, because you felt that way, because you cried, because you smashed I don't know, some plates. I mean, as long as you don't harm anyone, including yourself, I mean, that's fine. I mean, plates can be replaced. That doesn't really doesn't hold any weight. But if you harm yourself long term without processing and without learning and without recognizing, that's a much bigger harm than a few plates. So if you want to crash some plates, go ahead. I mean, release your anger. Anger is something sits above. Under anger, it's always grief. So mostly that's what people say. I mean, and I agree with that because I saw that. So grief is something very deep and something very old, usually what we carry in ourselves, something super painful. But don't lose yourself also in the analyzation process. Just try to go step by step, see what there is really, and then just return back to yourself and live your life again. And don't take it too seriously, because we all make it such a big of a deal, while it's just, it's life. I mean, if we do something cringe, or if we feel ashamed for something, I mean, I prefer to feel ashamed and cringe than to not be myself, than to not be authentic, than to not be real, and not to live life honestly. Because at the end of the day, what you can give to yourself is just to be honest with yourself. Believe me, if you try this, just make it as an experiment, like you're experimenting with yourself. Just remember what I have advised and try to experiment. And if it doesn't work for you, well, can be, but at least try. I mean, I have 99.5% confidence interval that it will work. But yeah, there is always exceptions. So I don't say that I have made a study about that, but I'm curious to do one, actually. It will require a lot of people and a lot of scenarios, and basically it should happen naturally, like planet Earth, and this is very hard to replicate. But yeah, just if you can approach yourself in a way of experiment, and in a way of, this is a designed research, and how do I what do I do with this data, basically, and try to see the patterns, what they reoccur in your life, and ask the questions and look behind. And then yet you can still feel the emotion, but it will never make you entirely overwhelmed. I don't say that it will happen by tomorrow, but progressively by time. Believe me, you will see some results.